Hey gals, I am coming live today to talk about home gym equipment essentials. So we've obviously been working out at home for the last month or two, and moving forward, maybe this is something that you prefer, or maybe you're just starting out and you want to start working out and you want to do it from home. So you're wondering, what equipment do you need to buy? Workouts with just body weight only, but adding in some equipment will really help you to progress and to kind of change things up. So for home gym equipment essentials, I've got a lot of things laying out here. You do not need to go out and buy all of this. I'm going to talk about some essentials and then some other options depending on your budget and what you plan to do. So my first suggestion out of anything would be to buy a pair of dumbbells. So if you don't have any dumbbells at home, I recommend starting out with one pair of 10-pound dumbbells. So it's better if you can have a variety of dumbbells, just because if you're just starting out, a 10-pound weight might be difficult to do some exercises, but for others with your stronger muscles, anything less or even 10 pounds can be kind of light. So I recommend starting with 10 pounds because this will go far in your workout journey. So definitely get a pair of dumbbells. If you're a beginner, you might want to start with 5s, although you can use some things around your house, which I'll kind of talk about towards the end. We'll talk about some gym alternatives that you can use at home. If you're a little bit more intermediate, advanced, then you might want to have a heavier set as well. I do have a pair of 5s. I don't really use them that much. I do use my 10s, but if you are really wanting to work out at home and really invest in your health, then you might want to invest in something like adjustable dumbbells. I bought these over a year ago, I think, on Black Friday. These are Bowflex adjustable dumbbells. There's a couple other different types of adjustable dumbbells, but I really like these. They go from, I think, 5 to 52.5, so you just turn the dial and you can adjust, which is really important because when you are progressing your workouts, you want to every week either do more reps or add more weight to continue to challenge yourself. And sometimes, if you've got a 10-pound and then you've got a 20-pound dumbbell, let's say, sometimes that 10-pound jump can be too difficult. And so by having adjustable dumbbells, you can kind of customize and go in smaller increments, so that way you're progressing, but it's not too challenging. So I recommend a pair of 10-pound dumbbells to start. Otherwise, you can go ahead and invest. Again, I bought this on a Black Friday sale, so you might want to wait for some sort of sale or deal. I think these were $250 on sale, but once you start to add the different dumbbells, to continue to progress, that adds up. And with the adjustable dumbbells, it's conserved space because you're not having like a ton of dumbbells around your house. So that might be something worth considering. My second suggestion, something that I love, are mini bands. So mini bands are great for lower body, and you can also do some upper body exercises as well. I used to have the plastic ones, and I used those actually on my mission trip around the world for 11 months, and they got pretty stretched out over time, so they're really great. They're lightweight. You can definitely use them, but I also, working in the gym, I saw how often they would break over time and just rip. So that's why I recommend a resistance band like the Glute Loop. I believe that this one is the best one on the market, and I have suggested it to some people. I know my mom and my sister are currently using it. They love it. One of my friends who is doing the CTW membership just bought one, and she's loving it. So these are great for your warm-ups, for even just like at the end doing a burner or a finisher with your glutes and strengthening your hips which is really important to maintaining knee health and so many other things. So building your glutes. I love to do like monster walks and lateral walks with them. So I definitely recommend a glute loop to anybody and everybody. The next piece of equipment, if you don't have dumbbells, or on top of that, you could also buy a resistance band. So I prefer the super bands. You can also get resistance bands that are have handles, so a resistance tube. I prefer this. If you're going to get one, you might want to get a couple. Resistance bands are relatively cheap. They have different sizes and thickness specifically, and the thicker it is, the stronger the weight is for. So I think this one is rated for like 15 to 50 pounds. So just depending on how tight you pull the resistance band, the heavier it's going to be. So I have a couple at home. I've got a thicker one, and I've got this one. I also have another one that I bought from Target. I think this was 15 bucks. I think this is rated for like 10 to 30 pounds. So a little bit lighter. It's nice again to have a variety, because you know, for some exercises, again, you're going to be stronger, and a thicker band with more tension is going to challenge you more. So again, with a resistance band like this, you can use it for so many exercises: upper body, lower body, your back. You can really be creative with it. You can even do things like deadlifts or rows. So really it's you can attach this around a pole, or there's like different doorway attachments that you can purchase to hang it up, and you can do so many different exercises. So again, these are super cheap, really, to give you some great benefits, and you can travel with them. If you are on the go at a hotel, you can bring these with you. So I love resistance bands, and would highly recommend that you have at least one laying around at home. Depending on your surface, if you have a carpet like this, you might not need a mat, but if you only have like hard floors or something like that, you might want to invest then in some sort of yoga mat. I think I got this one from Target. I think it was probably like somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks, but I'm sure online, again, you can look for good deals and get one cheaper than that. These things you can find on Amazon. I do have some of these things as well on my website. If you go to my shop, you can go to the link directly to get a glute loop. I'm not sponsored by them, I just like their product. So you can get that. Another item that I use every day in my workouts is a foam roller. I love to start my workouts foam rolling my whole body, honestly. It gets my muscles ready, but I also just like to start with it to just kind of mentally prepare and get into my workout. I just think it makes a huge difference. I know I've encouraged some people to do it, including my mom, and I know she loves foam rolling now too. I have a stick as well. This is kind of another option for foam rolling, but if you're going to stick with one, I recommend getting just more of a regular foam roller. Foam rollers come in different sizes and different densities. So this one is a firmer, more dense. It's got some little grooves and things like that in the foam roller, because I have been foam rolling for a long time and I really like to get in there into my muscles, and so sometimes the less dense ones I don't really feel too much. Depending on if you've ever foam rolled before or how sore and tight you are, you might want to get a less dense foam roller. There's one on my shop that I recommend. It's from Amazon. It's a longer one, and honestly I would suggest, if you have one, to get a little bit longer of a foam roller, because you can do some additional foam rolling exercises with the longer one that you can't really do with this guy. Another option would be to use like a lacrosse ball. These ones are stuck together. You can use it for your back, but if you just have like a little lacrosse ball, like $3, you can again kind of foam roll some of the spots on your legs and your calves and work on that. So that's really cheap. Another option for foam rolling. So those are kind of my essentials. So dumbbells, yes, some sort of resistance band, a mini band. That would be kind of my basic. Again, if you need a yoga mat, you can buy a yoga mat. Another great workout tool is a kettlebell. So a kettlebell, again, you can use it in place of a dumbbell, but it also offers some additional benefits just based on the way it's shaped. I prefer also to use kettlebells over dumbbells when it comes to metabolic exercises like kettlebell swings, or I guess you could do dumbbell snatches and stuff like that, but there's some exercises that a kettlebell is better for. Also, because of the way it's created, the weight is offset essentially, and so it creates more stability. It requires more stability. So when you do overhead presses or some different things, it can work on scapular stability, which is great. So if you don't have a kettlebell, that's also something I would recommend as a good tool. This is 15 pounds. I think 15 pounds is good for a beginner. If you are more intermediate or advanced, I would at least get a 20-25 pound, if not even heavier. Kettlebells, unfortunately, they can get kind of expensive the heavier it is, which is why I don't have any kettlebells at home. I use them at the gym, but at the gym, you know, if I'm doing kettlebell swings, I'll use 35, 40 pounds, and sometimes heavier kettlebells for overhead presses and things like that. So if you're gonna get a kettlebell for home, maybe start with like a 20-pound weight. Another great tool for home workouts is having a bench. This one is an escape bench. There's so many different options for benches. I liked this one because it is adjustable. It has 2 different heights, and also this one adjusts with the bench. So if you want to do some like incline bench presses or incline rows, it has that ability to mix it up. With the bench that I bought compared to kind of more of a softer bench that you see in the gym, I bought this because I planned to do some or have my focus be more so on like cardio exercises, or at least being able to do that. So I prefer a harder surface for that, whether it's some sort of like jumps or toe taps and different things like that. So that's why I invest in this one, but if you plan to use it more so for just strength training exercises, you could just do a soft bench as well. So this I got on Amazon. I think it was $150 if I didn't say that already, but again, some of this equipment you can accumulate over time and just wait for different sales or Black Friday shopping. So that's pretty much the equipment I have. I do have some sliders as well. I don't really use these that much, but they are another cheap, great tool. I think these were like $8. If you don't have sliders like this, you can also use like paper plates and towels if you're on a hard surface. So that might be something you have around your house. If you don't have any of these equipment, I'm gonna kind of talk about some alternatives that you can use. So if you don't have any weights, a great alternative is filling a backpack full of books. This backpack's a little bit small, but you can use this the same way as a weight. If you're gonna do a goblet squat, you just hug the backpack. You can use it for carries, so farmer carries, which are great for your posture and for your core. So basically you're walking straight, holding it off to the side. I mean, you can use it for different arm exercises as well. If you don't have that, some other tools that I've seen people use are like laundry detergents. So this one's pretty empty, but if you fill this all the way to the top, that could easily be used as a workout tool. So kind of get creative around the house. If you don't have a light pair of dumbbells, you can grab something like cans or water bottles. and do exercises with just what you have lying around the house. Your counter, or even something like a dowel that you set up between two chairs, can allow you to do some back exercise, some rows, some inverted rows. I have a couple of videos of me doing those two options, which I can share with you, but it's hard to train your back at home without a lot of equipment, but there are some different ways around that. That's why dumbbells are great, or using something like a counter or a dowel to set up an inverted row. There's some ways to do that at home. So that's pretty much all I have to share with you today as far as home gym equipment essential goes. I'll kind of grab my computer and see if you guys have any questions about any of the items or specific brands. Let me know in the comments. Yes, thank you for saying that. If you don't have a bench and you have in your workout program, you want to do either some cardio exercises, or you need to use a step for a step up or for an incline, you can use stairs. If you have a good ottoman or some sort of chair, couch, step, you could also potentially use that, but again, it's something you'd have to be a little bit more careful with. Your couch is also a great way to do some exercises for, instead of a bench, if you want to do like hip thrusts or reverse hypers, you can use a couch or an ottoman that you have at home, or a chair. Let's see, what do you call the purple band? What was the resistance? So they have different names for these. If you look up resistance band, these will come up, the ones that are just the loop. I call them a super band. Other people call them monster bands, or I don't, they just have a ton of different names. But if you just do resistance band, they will come up. Again, the one with the handles, a common term is resistance tube bands. And I have a couple different weights. So this one is 30 pounds. This purple one is rated for 10 pounds. And then my red one that I have is 20 pounds. And you can even combine them with the handles to make the resistance stronger. Any other questions? Michelle was doing some reverse lunges with a step today and can already feel it. Yes, definitely. Okay, well, if you do have any questions or you're watching the replay, feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you. Again, all this equipment you can find on Amazon right now. So if you can't get to the store with this, quarantine lockdown going on, then you can definitely buy this. Although I will say some of the items that I've checked on are saying currently unavailable. So I think, just with everybody staying at home, people are buying the equipment and companies are not able to keep up with the demand. So you might run into that issue right now. I'm not sure. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you guys next week on more live videos about faith, food, and fitness. Have a great rest of your day.